If you want to earn 5 to 10% per year passively, without betting on the market going up or going down and putting your dollar at work, this is exactly what lending and borrowing is about. It's part of what we call delta neutral strategy. Whether the market is going up or down, whether the Bitcoin is going up or down or any stocks, you are going to generate returns through interest. So in our example, in order to generate, let's say 5% per year, you are going to lend money on a DeFi protocol, which in our case can be Morpho or Aave or specific crypto funds, where you are going to generate 3, 5, 7, 10% interest. So how does it work? You want to lend, in our example, $86,000. You are going to get paid, let's say 5% per year on this 86K. Now, someone is going to borrow your funds and going to pay you interest, because if no one borrow your funds, you are not going to get any interest. That's why we call vault, in order to have liquidity. So the borrower in this situation, we don't want him to steal our 86K. So he's going to make a deposit of $100K worth of a specific collateral, which in our example is Bitcoin. It can be Ethereum and others. And like this, if Bitcoin is stable or going up, so maybe it's going to be $105K, $120K, then your collateral is good. But if Bitcoin is going down, now your 100K are worth less. They are worth maybe 90K. So 90K is still alright. But the issue is you are, as a lender, lending 86K, but if the position of the borrower is going lower than 86K, you are going to lose money. So how does it work? You have what we call a liquidation LTV. If the Bitcoin is literally going down, so above around 86K, let's say 87K, because I mean the smart liquidation LTV, it's going to liquidate the Bitcoin. So it's going to swap it from Bitcoin to USDC. So it's going to go, for example, to 87K, and then boom, it's going to go from Bitcoin to USDC. And here it was USDC. So as a lender, you are just going to get back this money to you. In our example, you don't have any borrower because the borrower get liquidated. So at the end of the day, why someone is going to borrow USDC by putting Bitcoin on collateral is to use it as leverage. They trust the Bitcoin. They just want to have bigger position on Bitcoin. So what they are going to do, they are going to use their Bitcoin as collateral, get this 86K into Bitcoin again, then put this 86K worth of Bitcoin into lending borrowing protocol, then borrow again, not 86K, but 86% of 86K. So at the end, they can get a leverage up to 2 to 3 the market exposure, which can be interesting if they are right. If they are wrong, again, they are getting liquidated. So that's why you can understand that your interest rate can vary depending on the market. If the market is bull, which means it's going up, then there will be probably more people looking to borrow USDC to invest into other crypto. And there will be less lender because they will be willing to be exposed to the market because they know it's going to go up. But when it's the bear market, so when the market is going to go down or there is uncertainty, then there will be more lenders and less borrowers, which can cause the interest to go a bit down. So that's why sometimes it's 6%, sometimes it's 4%, and then it's going to depend on the vault. So let's take the example of Morpho. Here we're into our dashboard. Let's go into earn. So as a lender, if we go into this vault, which is called Stakehouse USDC, you have at the moment 366 million USDC as deposit. That's your current liquidity. And the curator is the one managing this vault. And exposure is what are the collaterals in this vault. As you can see, it's Bitcoin. So CB Bitcoin, Wrap Bitcoin, and Wrap Ethereum. Like it's just 14 million. So it's just very, very small. Let's say it's Bitcoin as collateral. And the APY is 3.15% net API. Plus you will get Morpho token. So at the end of the year, you will get 3.49%. Again, this percentage can vary, can go a bit up or go a bit down. And same thing, for example, for this crypto fund. So as you can see here, the net APR, so the net returns, all is 11%. And we can see on the last 30 days, yearly it's 8.89%. Because again, it's up or going down. So that's an account example. So I put $10K. It was 2 months and a half ago. And as you can see, I made 2.1% of my investment in 2 months and a half, which is interesting because this one is doing 11.2 net APR. So if we come back into our example, your funds are secure through the protocol because you are going to lend your money to someone, but there is the protocol which acts as a middleman that is going to take the deposit of the collateral. And if there is something happening, then there is going to liquidate the borrower collateral in order to pay back the lender. So what are the risks with these protocols and with this type of investment? So the risk for lenders, because there is risk for lenders and there is a risk for borrowers. Let's just talk about lenders in this video. You have the smart contract protocol risk. That's the main risk. You can get hacked. So it's better for you to use MPC, the fund, or directly for the protocol. That's why the biggest hedge fund in the world in crypto are using all MPCs. Insolvency risk, delayed or inefficient liquidations can create bad debt, leading to partial losses for lenders. Let's say the Bitcoin is going down from 90 to 80, for example, K, like the worst deposit. Then it's going to liquidate at 80 because there was an issue. There was a delay or inefficient liquidation, which means their system literally bug and maybe it just go down too fast or there was cascade and no one was looking to buy. It can be several conditions. It's very specific market condition and very rare, but it can still happen. So this is a risk. You can lose some dollar if the collateral is going down by a lot because you are exposed to Bitcoin or others. So this is why, as you can see here, interest on Bitcoin is low because you have less liquidation risk, like you have less insolvency risk on Bitcoin because Bitcoin is not making big movements. It's not going to lose 20% in 1 hour or in 10 seconds because it's market cap heavy and it's going to take some time. So it's hard for a protocol or for any type of automations to have inefficient liquidation. But on small token or shitcoins, it can be more risky and that's why the interests are higher. It will depend on the risk of the collateral. Here, as you can see, it's USD. So it's literally USD to get USD, wrap Bitcoin, wrap Ethereum, and X out. So insolvency risk, as we have just seen, is a part of the risk. And that's what is going to define as well the interest rate. Because it's going to define is the collateral is more exposed to inefficient liquidation. Then you get the liquidity risk. You can miss opportunities elsewhere. Not a loss, but still a real cost, which we can call as well opportunity cost. You put USDC in a vault. Sometimes it can take days or weeks to unlock your current funds because you are lending to someone. That's why as well there is vault. Like this, it's more liquid. You can see as well here the liquidity, which means there is this in terms of deposit, but available 80 million USDC. In our example, as you can see, it's USDC. If we get back here, stablecoin risk, like for example, USDT is DPEG. So stablecoin risk, regulatory intervention, for example in Europe with MiCA law, or the DPEG of USDC, USDT, or Terra Luna stablecoin, for example, that happened and that literally go to zero. So make sure you are not investing in stablecoin Ponzi's. And then the interest rate risk, which is again an opportunity cost because some are going to give you 3.5%, 4.9%, 6%. So this is on Morpho, this is on Aave, and this is a fund I'm investing in. So there is a link here, which is called mondigitalfund.com/USDC. The link is in the description below. I have several accounts, and when I invest into lending and borrowing, and especially in delta neutral strategies, I don't invest everything in one platform. This one is just a test portfolio to show you in video and to insiders members. But you can put a portion here, a portion into Morpho, a portion into Aave, to several exposure. Can be with Bitcoin, can be with Ethereum and others. So at the end of the day, you can generate around 7 to 8% per year. It depends on your allocations, the risk and the exposure. Exposure is what's the collateral. Bitcoin, Ethereum, shitcoin that is going to literally like lose 10% within 1 minute and you can get an inefficient liquidation. So now you understand the risk. The risk is you can lose everything if the protocol get hacked. That's why Morpho and Aave are the biggest one because they are safer than mostly all the others. So Morpho has $10 billion deposit and Aave 41 billion. Everyone moved from Lagoon to Morpho and others, but I'm using Lagoon as well. Only $125 million because you can customize funds and you can use crypto funds. So for example, in this fund, there is traders and analysts behind it with automation. So it's not like just you put into a vault where someone is going to manage it with MPC. So it's still very safe while being attractive in terms of yield, so annual return. So that's pretty everything about lending, borrowing. There is still risk as there is risk everywhere. So you can literally buy bonds from the US Treasury on IBKR. You can use lending borrowings through DeFi protocols or directly through crypto funds to get 5 to 10% per year. You can as well do private debt. You will get 3 to 10%. It depends on the companies you are going to lend money to. There is many ways to generate interest on the market. Your goal is really to diversify your portfolio. And in my opinion, it's always good to have delta neutral strategies such as this one with a specific allocation. Always manage your exposure properly in order to still generate dividends. And if you put $1 million at 7% on average, you get 70K per year, which is almost 6K per month passive income. So in my opinion, it's a great way to generate returns, but as well a great way to fight against the inflation. Because inflation right now, 2 to 3%, but it's not. It's more than that. Maybe 5, 6, 7. I don't know the future. I don't know all the numbers. It's a very good way to protect your capital against inflation, against the devaluation of the USD or other currencies. It's mainly with USD on this platform because it's USDC and USDC. So again, don't forget you have the stablecoin risk. And that's why I prefer to invest mainly in USDC. You can invest as well in BUSD, but not in USDT. If you need any help on how to invest on Morpho Aave, you have a ton of YouTube videos literally on the topic, how to connect your ledger to your MetaMask or how to get a Phantom wallet, how to start investing, how to withdraw, what are the automation and system behind liquidations, how does it happen, through which kind of system. Like, it's very, very interesting topic. So I encourage you to take a look because don't invest in something you don't understand. So always make sure you check the platforms, diversify your allocation. Like if you have, let's say 50K, which represent, I don't know, like 10% of your portfolio, don't put 50K in just one Morpho Vault. Put a part in Morpho, a part in Aave. Maybe if you want to get a bit more return in, for example, this fund, just do your own research. It's not a financial advice. And if you have any questions, everything is on YouTube. And if you want to talk about specific investment strategy or investment portfolio, or you are looking to invest, please feel free to message me on Instagram. I will reply to you within 24 hours. It was Arthur. Ciao.